This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Utah. I am here at Spirit Inspired Healing. Since 2015, they've been helping you to embrace your soul purpose while becoming your true and higher self as you overcome obstacles in life. I'm joined here with the life coach and hypnotherapist, Jennifer. Thanks so much for joining us here today.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
I'm going to start off a little bit about yourself. You were formerly educated at Southwest Institute of Healing Arts in Holistic Wellness and Clinical Hypnotherapy. Your past experience has led you from retail store management into nursing and child care assistant work. For the last 8 years, you've helped others heal in your hypnotherapy and holistic wellness work. Share with me a little bit how this journey led you to this type of service.
I mean, that starts clear back when I was like very young, and my parents, I always kind of make a joke of this. My parents sent me to positive motivation camps. You know, I was just that normal back talking teenager. They thought, oh, she needs to go to, but they weren't like those crazy things. They were literally positive motivation camps. Okay, well, take about, let's like fast forward to 2007-ish, and I started thinking to myself, I'm kind of become a kind of a negative person, and I really want to become positive again. So kind of went in search of positivity mainly, and I don't know what just led me to I mean, it took a few years, of course, of going in different directions, but it led me to wanting to do hypnotherapy and help people.
Excellent. It's a great story. Everyone has a personal story, kind of leads them what they're doing. The history of hypnosis goes back to the 18th century. Yet, is it safe to say that most people know very little about hypnosis in regards to its use in therapy? And most have only seen it maybe on a stage for entertainment. How does the work you do differ from maybe what most people know about?
Well, like you said, that's for entertainment. But when you're working with me, what our main goal is that we want to take what has been kind of conditioned into the subconscious mind. And that's what we're working with when you're actually under hypnosis. So those things that we were conditioned with all our lives that may or may not be affecting us, I help you remove things that it's not like things go away. So I want to actually clarify that. So when I say remove things, let's say blocks and barriers, I'm going to say this: remove the emotional response that causes a physical response to the things that, let's say, hold us back in life, that from doing the things that we'd really like to do.
That is excellent. I mean, according to Wikipedia, hypnotherapy is a type of mind-body intervention in which hypnosis is used to create a state of focused attention and increase suggestibility for treatment. Is this kind of similar to how you define hypnotherapy and what you do today?
I actually the way I describe hypnosis is as an applied altered state of consciousness that lies between the awake and asleep state, while in that state, making change happen more easily. So once you're under hypnosis, you've pushed this conscious mind aside. You're talking directly to the subconscious mind. Those changes are being created through the subconscious mind and then come forward through the conscious mind. So I kind of would say it a little different. I don't know.
I mean, so the altered state kind of lies between the waking state and the sleep state. I mean, it's a combination of relaxation, concentration, expectation. Because it addresses the subconscious mind, is that why it can be so effective? Because we're kind of bypassing the conscious mind, if you will.
Yes, it is, because all of the things that actually come through consciously started in the subconscious mind. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you yourself seen or experienced maybe actual change, maybe in yourself or people, and can change happen more rapidly because, like I said, we're bypassing that conscious mind that many times blocks what we're trying to do ultimately?
Right. I definitely see change happen faster with hypnotherapy. Um, just yesterday, I got a compliment while I was in yoga, and a gal who had been a client previously was telling everybody how before she came to me, she was afraid to go and get her yoga certification, and she was afraid to have a relationship. And I was able to clear those blocks and barriers for her to be able to do that.
Hypnotherapy can alter our state of consciousness, and really to the uneducated, it can seem kind of scary to them. Yet,
Yeah.
we all experience altered states every day. I mean, while we're
Yes,
driving,
we do.
watching TV, daydreaming, even listening to music. Is that right? Can you kind of explain that to us?
That is right. But the reason that you actually go into those state that it's okay, so that's actually called an so you're I get that they compare that to hypnosis, but what they're really saying is that you go into an altered state of consciousness comparative to hypnosis. First of all, you learn to drive, you drove yourself to all these different places, and you get in your car. Let's say you're going home from work and you drive all the way home and you're like, man, I don't even remember driving here. That's because you have created um, a habit,
Yeah.
and out of just your subconscious habit, you drive home that way. So you're not like hypnotized per se, but your mind goes into an altered state, and you just drive yourself home.
You're a very open state, and that what you do is basically get those folks in the same open state and then able to talk them through that. Can your services be done virtually, like over Zoom, remotely, or only in person?
Absolutely, yes.
And what if someone doesn't go under? Is that a possibility? And what do you do in those situations?
Yeah, it's a possibility people won't go under. What do I do? So I want to actually clarify that every person is hypnotizable, but it's going to be depend on if they allow it, if they are more analytical or more creative. Um, but you can get around that. You just have to know that beforehand. And I absolutely, you can do online sessions. I just want to clarify every time I get online with a client, I always explain to them that you cannot get stuck in hypnosis. So, say, here we are, we're having a session and we lose connection. The only thing that's going to happen is you're going to, within 10, 15 minutes, realize I am no longer talking, or you're going to fall into a natural state of sleep. So, you're not going to get stuck there. You absolutely cannot get stuck in hypnosis. So, yeah, we can do virtual remote sessions online. Yeah.
Excellent. That was definitely the answer I was looking for. I was thinking about that if you could do it remotely and how that would look. I mean, in our current life, we are on a journey to be our best self. But how can this current self be affected by our past life? Do you and many believe, I mean, we have past lives?
Right. That was something that actually I had never really thought about. And then I met a woman who did past life regression as part of her therapy. She was an actual counselor. And I had called this woman, and this was before I became a hypnotherapist. It kind of is part of my story of leading up to becoming a hypnotherapist. I met this woman, actually was referred to her by my sister, who said, I know this lady who does weird stuff like you're into. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I was kind of taking a different path in life, just going towards like
Yeah.
the hypnotherapy thing. But and she'd used the past life regression as part of her therapy. So I had not previously thought a lot about having lived past lives. Um, until I actually saw this woman, started seeing her as a counselor, did her therapy, did her past life regression, and it completely changed everything about what I thought about everything. I mean, to me, it even explained what God was. It explained,
Yeah.
it opened my mind up to things I would have never thought were possible.
Interesting. It's amazing how when we're exposed to such things, we can open our minds and really take in things like that. And let's face it, many of us may have these questions. Have we lived before? Do our souls reincarnate? Who were you in a past life? Have I only lived maybe past lives on this earth? So, how does past life regression therapy assist those that you now work with?
Well, I kind of think they have the same um, thing that happens to them that happened to me is you finally feel like you are awake to more than you were before. You finally feel like I definitely have been, I might, you know, here's an example of someone is continuously, let's say, reliving the same life over and over again. They're not learning, they're not progressing. They, so here they are again, and they're having that same exact problem, but here coming in for past life regression, you go back and you see that pattern and how it's happened over and over and over again. And now you go, I need to change something.
I mean, it's really up to the individual to discover his or her own truth, but yet, what answers have you helped others find? Can you give examples of maybe people you've helped with that type of thing that were maybe like you? They were skeptical, they didn't really understand it, but then they walked away going, "Wow."
I think everybody that actually has a past life regression walks away going, wow. And then you have to, they go home and it takes a week or two to kind of like, was that something I made up? Was that real? You know, they
Yeah.
go, I don't even know. I want to give you an example because here, the number one thing is I can relate to myself and the things I learned from past life regression more than I know of what other people have learned. And like I would have to go back and kind of look through my session notes. But so usually when I talk about past life regression, I'll tell people what I learned specifically because I kept learning more and more, even though I wasn't. I've had three, and they're at least 3 hours long, if not four. Um, but one thing I learned, okay, so let's say I was in a very long-term relationship. I'd been in the relationship about 15 years. When I first got into the relationship, the daughter came to live with us. And through my past life regression, I found out that the reason I was actually in the relationship, because it wasn't good or bad, it just was kind of blah. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. But I was in that relationship because in a past life, she had adopted me and taken care of me. And that was my karma in this life to take care of her. And that is not in a bad way because I actually considered her to be my daughter. You know, it's not stepdaughter. Like, yeah. Um, so it was like when you're thinking, oh, karma from a past life carrying forward, it would be more, it would look more like that than it would like, oh, I killed so and so. So in this life, they're going to kill me. That doesn't, I don't know. That's not how it works.
I mean, no
Yeah.
matter what you believe, this can truly be a deep and meaningful experience either way. I mean, what
Yeah.
are some of the symptoms that you have helped others overcome, like that of anxiety, depression, stress, even pain management? Can your combination of therapies help in some of these areas like that?
Most definitely. I've had someone who came in with, let's say, extreme neck pain that had no idea, let's say, why they had that kind of pain. So therefore, during this past life regression, they saw themselves back in Roman times. An arrow goes through their body. And just so you know, you don't really feel pain or any of that. So I'm going to clarify as I say that. And they fall and they land on their head and break their neck. So right there, they just saw something that caused the neck pain in this life that carried over, and they were still carrying that with them. Because of seeing it, they were able to let go of it, no longer have neck pain.
That is wow. That has got to be something interesting for you to view and see. I mean, Jennifer, you assist others in transforming the underlying issues to success in whatever area of their life they struggle with. With a
Right.
combination of life coaching and hypnosis, change can happen more rapidly. Is this rewarding work for you when you get to experience things like that?
It absolutely is. I really enjoy doing what I'm doing, and it's not like I'm trying to think of how I would say that. I I get the satisfaction, I guess, of seeing the changes that can happen with people, that their lives get better, that just like the compliment I received of this person just yesterday telling me how much I changed her life, which I hadn't had her verbalized where she had actually noticed those changes before. And I knew where the things we had worked on, but I had never had her say this changed and that changed. And that was really good confirmation for me.
Yeah.
I will sometimes just notice it myself of about the person, and I don't say anything because I just feel like it's their journey, but to actually have them recognize it is really awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I would imagine there's a lot of things that go on in your mind that you're able to see, and you have to decide which ones you're going to share and which ones you're not going to share. Nonetheless, at the end of the day, you're really helping folks out there that come to you. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is her website. On the website, you can learn more about all the types of therapy she provides right there. I mean, check out the testimonials, and obviously reach out today. If you're looking for something like this, or if this interests you in any way. She is a certified clinical hypnotherapist, transformational life coach, and energy intuitive that can help you experience spirit-inspired healing. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.